You ever have one of those mornings where, before the sun's even up, that the universe is about to hand you some real premium grade nonsense? That's exactly what was running through my head as Sheriff Martinez's cruiser came barreling down my dusty road, kicking up so much dirt I could barely make out the Meadowview Estates sign glinting in the haze behind him. And through that cloud, I caught a glimpse of Patricia Henderson, HOA President Extraordinaire, absolutely losing her mind at my front gate heels, sinking in mud fists, hammering against my brand new 8-foot wall like she was auditioning for a prison break. "Help me!" she shrieked, spotting the sheriff, her voice echoing over the pasture. This maniac trapped me on his property. Arrest him. Part of me wanted to ask her if she wanted a cup of coffee while she waited. Sheriff Martinez just looked at me, then at her, then back at the wall that until yesterday had not existed, and finally let out this long, tired sigh like a man who'd been through 3 divorces and none of them his fault. "Mr. Thompson," he said, not even trying to hide the smirk, "care to explain why Patricia Henderson is currently stuck inside a wall on your property?" So let me back up a sec, because believe it or not, this insanity started 3 months earlier. My name's Jake Thompson, and if you ever inherit a family ranch on the edge of suburbia, take it from me. Pour yourself a strong drink and buckle up. This place has been in my family since before Meadowview Estates was even a twinkle in a developer's eye. 4 generations of Thompsons, 50 acres, and more sweat equity than most folks put into a lifetime. Weekdays, I'm a software engineer, but weekends are for cattle fence repairs and whatever's left of my grandma's vegetable garden. And wouldn't you know it exactly, 1 week after I moved in, just as I'm mending a fence post, up rolls a silver Mercedes, doors pop, and out steps Patricia in a suit so crisp, I'm pretty sure it could slice bread, blonde hair done up like she was on her way to a photo shoot. "Excuse me," she called, not so much requesting attention as expecting the universe to revolve around her. "Orbit, are you the new owner?" I wipe sweat from my brow and nod. "Yeah, Jake Thompson. What can I do for you?" She slides a manila folder through the fence like it's a search warrant. "I'm Patricia Henderson, president of Meadowview Estates, HOA. These are your violation notices." I swear to you, I almost burst out laughing. Violations for what? "Where do I start?" she groaned, rolling her eyes. "Your fence is non-compliant, your barn's rust is lowering property values, your cattle create dust. And that rooster, well, don't even get me started." She's still going when I finally say, "Ma'am, this is a working ranch. Your HOA doesn't have a say out here." But she gets this look like a wolf eyeing a chicken, tells me, "You're wrong, Mr. Thompson. According to our community map, a portion of your land falls within our jurisdiction. You've got 30 days. And then she whirls back to her car, leaving me with enough paperwork to start a bonfire. Naturally, first thing I did was call my lawyer. If only Patricia had quit there. Next week, I spot her trespassing, snapping pictures of my barn. "This is private property," I tell her, but she just waves her phone like a badge. "I'm documenting violations. HOA has the right. Get off my land," I say. She storms off, but not before promising I'd hear from her again. I put up security cameras that afternoon, smartest $300 I ever spent, because over the next month, I caught her snooping 6 more times, sometimes bringing her little entourage, always filming, always looking for something she could declare an eyesore. Then the fines started rolling in. $100 for excessive dust, $200 for non-compliant structure, $300 for agricultural odors. No kidding, they wrote that. By month's end, she claimed I owed $5,000. You'd think the HOA meetings would be the end of it, but Patricia, she's got a real flair for the dramatic. She put my photos she took illegally up on a projector, treating my ranch like it was a toxic waste site. "We need to take action," she said, whipping up the crowd. "Motion to pursue legal action." Some of the board looked nervous, but most were eating out of her hand. The vote passed, and that was it, time to fight back for real. I called Richardson and Associates, best land attorneys in the county, and had a survey crew out that week. What they found: "Let me tell you, my lawyer Tom called voice giddy as a kid on Christmas, Jake. You're going to want to sit down." Turns out the original property records and the new survey proved beyond any doubt. Not only does the HOA have 0 jurisdiction over my land, but Patricia's beloved koi pond, her imported Italian marble gazebo, and about 800 square feet of her prize garden, were all smack on my property. She's been improving your land for 8 years, Jake Tom said. That's trespassing, plain and simple. So we sent her a formal notice, remove everything, restore my land. You've got 30 days. Certified letter delivered next morning. Not even 20 minutes later, she's blowing up my phone. How dare you? I'll sue you. I'll have you arrested. All I said was, Patricia, you've been using my land. Move your stuff or I'll move it for you. She hung up, but within the hour, Sheriff Martinez was at my gate, patting his holster, looking sheepish. Jake, she claims you threatened her. I've seen the survey, though. You're good. Showed him my paperwork. He shook his head and left. But Patricia wasn't done, no sir. That night, cameras caught her spray painting HOA property on my fence, stapling violation notices to my trees. Sent all that footage to my lawyer. She's digging her own grave, Tom told me, but he warned me, desperate people do desperate things. Sure enough, next morning she's back, this time with half the HOA board traipsing through my pasture clipboard brigade in tow. That's it, I said. Called Tom, I want a fence, and not just any fence. The biggest, baddest fence we can legally build right on the line. He sent a crew that afternoon. By sunset, the posts were up, bright orange survey paint marking exactly where her garden crossed onto my side. Foreman said, Boss, we're going to have to go right through the koi pond and gazebo. I said, build it. Patricia was none the wiser until next morning when she strolled out to feed her koi and found a construction crew pouring concrete right through her prize garden. Stop this, she screamed, running outside in her bathrobe. You can't do this. That's my garden. Foreman didn't even look up. We're building on Mr. Thompson's property, ma'am. I just pointed to the certified letter. She tried everything, threats, tears, calls to the mayor, the governor, for all I know the president. I told her, you might want to get your things out because the wall will be done by tonight. She glared, stomped back inside. But here's the twist. She waited till the workers took lunch, then snuck back into her garden to grab some precious stones. Crew came back, didn't notice her, kept building. Next thing you know, Patricia's trapped in a 400-square-foot patch surrounded by 8 feet of concrete. Her designer shoes, ruined hair a mess, screaming bloody murder. This is kidnapping, she shrieked. Patricia, I called over. You're trespassing again. Don't worry, I'll call the sheriff for you. Which brings us back to Sheriff Martinez trying not to bust a gut laughing. So let me get this straight, he said. Patricia's on your land after years of trespassing, and now she's mad. You built a legal wall. That's about it, Sheriff, I said, though I've got a way out for her if she wants to be reasonable. Patricia, panting, covered in mud, popped her head over the gazebo. I'll sue you. I'll ruin you. I pulled a manila folder from my truck. Poetic, right? And handed it to her. Cease and desist public apology. Reimbursement for legal fees. Sign all 3. I'll give you the gate key. She blustered, but Sheriff Martinez stepped in. Patricia, you're lucky he isn't pressing charges. I've seen the footage. For the first time ever, she looked defeated. She signed handshaking signature, barely legible. I handed her the key, told her she had an hour to get her things, and she shuffled out, dignity shredded. Word spread through Meadowview like wildfire within a week. Emergency HOA meetings, residents coming out of the woodwork, stories flying about Patricia's reign of terror. By Friday, she'd been voted off the board. Her real estate license under investigation, $38,000 in legal fees, wiped out most of her savings. And for the cherry on top, the judge, when he saw the footage of her spray painting, my fence slapped her with 3 years probation, 200 hours of community service, and a $50,000 fine. You should have seen her face, mouth open, eyes wide, just stunned. 3 months later, moving trucks rolled up and she was gone by noon. Her abandoned gazebo. My goats love it. Her koi pond. Makes a perfect watering hole for my new tomato patch. Last week I put up a sign facing Meadowview, know your boundaries. Even the new HOA president stopped by, shook my hand, said he grew up on a farm. Turns out we get along just fine. Some old board members wave as they drive past. A few even buy eggs from me now. All these folks who once hid behind Patricia now stopping by for a chat. Funny how things change. And every morning as my rooster crows and the sun rises over that wall, I think of Patricia, probably lying awake in her apartment somewhere, and I can't help but grin. Some folks have to learn the hard way. You can't HOA your way onto someone else's land, no matter how many violation notices you write. That wall still standing, a monument to property rights and the end of entitlement. But hey, Some folks around here still argue about who was in the right, who overstepped, whether the wall was justice or just old-fashioned spite. So what do you think? Was it about the principle, the property, or just plain old revenge? Let me know down in the comments, because in this town everybody's got an opinion and I've got a front row seat.